Welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back at you guys with another KBO PrizePicks video. And today I have two props on the early morning slate. The first one being Hanwha Moon Hong Bin over 2 hits, runs, and RBIs, as well as Na Sang Yup over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So let's get into it. So the two matchups that we are using is the Hanwha versus SSG, as well as the Lotte versus Kiwoom. And both of these games have pretty good weather situations where it's not going to rain to kind of cut into the game. So game should likely proceed as scheduled. Same thing with the other game. Now in this spot, we're going to start off with the SSG matchup. This spot is a little risky because, for one, Mitch White, he formerly pitched at the Dodgers, and I think it's one other team he played for, but he has no stats in KBO. This will be his first official start in KBO. So what I did was I just went back and looked at his advanced metrics over the course of his career. And I'm going to show you guys that in just a second. So he played for the Dodgers and Toronto. That's the other team. So in those three, excuse me. And with those three teams, he managed to have pretty average K rate and a really high walk rate. So that's something that he struggles with, is walking a lot of batters. He struggles with control. As you can see here, you don't want any pitcher to be above 10% walk rate, and you want their strikeout rate to be over like 23-24%. That means that they're a really good strikeout pitcher. And as you can see here with his advanced metrics, he's only 11% strikeout rate in 2024, and then in 2023 he jumped up to 21%. And then in his time with the Dodgers, he was at 24% at one point, and then he was 18%. So he's kind of inconsistent all around. But one thing he is consistent is being able to walk guys and get batters on base. He has a really poor left on base percentage at with in those 3 seasons with the 3 teams. Has a fictitious 100% left on base percentage, meaning that he stranded all the runners on base 100% of the time, which he probably had a low innings to be able to accomplish that. But as you can see here, the more innings he threw, 57%, 55%, so he strands half of the runners that are on base. So I just think that they will be able to get to him, as in Hanwha, and they have one of the highest run totals of the day, them and Lotte. So that's why I targeted those 2 hitters between Lotte and Hanwha, and we'll see how this strategy pans out. But the reason why I want to attack him with left-handed batters is because he struggled, and I'll go to his splits right here. So he struggles against lefties. He gives up a 343 batting average last year, 2 lefties, and then only a 246 batting average against righties. So he's pretty average against righties, but he struggles against lefties. So we're going to pair him up against one of the best hitting lefties in KBO, which is Moon Han Bin. And with him, the one thing that stands out to me, and I always you watch my KBO videos, I target this. I want low strikeout guys. I want high walk rate guys. Now, granted, he is not a big walk rate guy, as he only walks 4.8% of the time, but his strikeout percentage is lower. It's the lowest of any eligible player that's on the board for their team, which is only 14%. Has a really good balls batted in play percentage at 313. So of all his balls that he put in play, he has a 300 batting average. And then he has overall 300 batting average. He has a really good on base percentage of 333. Has a good weighted on base percentage of 392, which is way above average. The average weighted on base is 320. He's well above that. He has a really good WRC plus. His WRC plus is 139, which is 39 points above average, which is the average is 100. So I really like him. He has a little bit of ISO power at 233. Has speed on him. As you can see here, he's 5.1, so he has speed. But then one thing I like about him too is that a lot of times they place him in the top half of the order. So he will get between 4 and 5 at bats. So he will see the most plate appearances and most at bats to be able to get to this number of 2 as a push. So I really like him in this spot. And then moving forward to our last hitter, which is Na Sang Yup, if I'm saying that right. But he is a really good hitter as well. Reason being, we're going to target, if the one big thing that stands out about all my videos is that I always do splits. Splits is the king of baseball. Righty and lefty split, especially pitchers. And once we get more and more into the season and bigger of a sample size, we will see bigger splits, and it will be bigger advantages. But we are only 2-3 weeks into KBO, so it's not too big of a sample size. In baseball, you need about 2 months worth of sample size to be able to really tell, who's a good hitter, who's not a good hitter, because a lot of their numbers, pitchers and batters, can kind of be inflated due to them having just a good stretch, because in baseball we know it's a sport of failure, so you will struggle from time to time. So but anyways, looking at his splits, this is the pitcher splits right here for Kiwoom. He is another profile, and I'll kind of get into his profile in just a second. But as far as his splits, he struggles against lefties. So what are we going to do? We're going to attack him with another left-handed batter. And like I said, he's average against righties. He gives up a 289 batting average. One thing about him too that's really, really good in this spot, and why the number is kind of high at 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, is he gives up a really, really high batting average. When runners are on base, he gives up a 351 batting average. When runners are on base, with runners on first and third base, he gives up a 500 batting average. With runners only on third base, he gives up a 500 batting average. Only on second base, gives up a 500 batting average. And you kind of guys can see the theme there. So like I said, we're going to attack him with a left-handed batter. And the reason why I say his profile fits what I'm looking for as well is we're going to attack a low K percentage guy. Doesn't strike out a bunch of people. He does walk. He's average about what walk rate. He's 7.5. We want him to be somewhere in the 9s, 10s. But 7.5 is good, especially if you pair that up with a low strikeout percentage. He has a 57% left on base percentage, which is well below league average, which average is like 70. So he's way, way below that. He gives up a lot of hard contact, as he only has, let's see, where is it? Yep, he gives up a lot of hard contact at 41%. So this is a really, really good profile. And some people may ask, why do you target low strikeout guys and high walk rate? Because for hits, runs, and RBIs, all you really need is the batter to be able to have an opportunity to get on base every batting appearance that they have. And with people with low strikeout rates, then they're more likely not to strike out. But you also want to pair that up with the hitter that doesn't have a good strikeout rate, or doesn't have a high strikeout rate, so that way it maximizes their opportunities to be able to either get a hit or be able to get on base via a walk, and then have their teammates be able to bat them in the same manner, whether they get hit or walked as well. So I really, really like these two batters. And then moving forward, let's dive into we didn't really take into account our batter splits. So with him, he's crushing righties. He's batting .318 against righties. Has 14 hits and 44 plate appearances. Has 2 doubles, 1 home run, 1 triple. So he does have power, and he also has extra base hit power as well. He only has 3 RBIs. He has 8 walks, 9 strikeouts. But like I said, he's a low K percentage guy, so he doesn't really strike out a lot. And most of those probably at bats where he struck out is going up facing a pitcher with the high K rate. So I really, really like him in this spot as well. And then another that when there's no out or 1 out, he has really, really good batting average at 258 or 259 and 267. As far as counts, he is really, really good in same counts, and what that means is that if it's 2-2, 1-1, those are same counts. So he's really, really good in those spots. And then also he puts the ball in play. He has a 273 batting average in a 2-2 count. And then also when he gets ahead, even if it's 0-1, he has a really good batting average of 364, 1-1, 500. He has a 400 batting average in 2-1 counts, 2-0 counts, 250. So all in all, I really, really like him in this spot to be able to go over this line. Like I said, he's more of a less risk than his teammates, as far as like Victor Reyes and his other teammate Hung Mon Bin. Both of these two guys have a strikeout rate of north of 20, 24, 25%. So I don't really like them going over that number of 2.5, especially with the high K percentage or high K rate, because more than likely they'll swing at things out of the strike zone. He's more disciplined, so I'm gonna go with a disciplined hitter and the also the hitter that is going to be able to put the ball in play. So like I said, those are my two picks. So Moon Hung Bin over 2 hits, runs, and RBIs, as well as Na Young Yep over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.